Namaskar, this is Akhilesh Bhargav. Welcome to Tidbits on Business and Finance with me. Last week, demand in the Indian economy reached a peak of sorts. The peak came because of consumer spending on account of the festivals, on account of the pent up demand, on account of the lockdown demand as we call it, and also on account of businesses replenishing their inventories. This surge in demand, this surge in growth has come after months of a slowdown, after months of contraction, after India getting into a technical recession as the Reserve Bank calls it. This peak in demand generated some kind of a euphoria, and that compelled many an authority and agency to revise their outlook for the Indian economy, to look into their estimates of what is the kind of growth rate that they see the economy getting into, or what kind of a contraction they expect the economy to undergo on account of the ongoing crisis. Many an agencies did that, and that was also because we would say it was festival time and one was trying to look at the emerging positivities in the overall economy. The Reserve Bank of India revised its outlook. The RBI had early said that it expects the Indian economy to contract by 9.8% in the September quarter. The RBI now says that the contraction would be 8.6%. Moody's also brought down its estimate of contraction. From its earlier estimate of 9.6% of the Indian economy for the September quarter, Moody's said it would be 8.9%. Fitch also revised it. Fitch says that against its earlier estimate of 8.2%, it now expects the Indian economy to contract by 7.8% in the September quarter. Goldman also revised it, so did many others. The general opinion based on this upsurge in demand was that the economy is doing better than what it was expected to, such that against its earlier estimate that the economy would come to a positive growth territory in the first quarter of the coming calendar year, the Reserve Bank now says that perhaps it might be so in the December quarter itself. In other words, it might be, according to the RBI, that in this quarter, the December quarter, India may witness a positive growth rate and not a contraction of sorts. The finance minister also last week announced yet another stimulus package, and while announcing it, she also echoed what all these agencies have been saying. She says that several indicators over the past few days are indicating that some kind of a recovery is taking place in the Indian economy. And that recovery, according to her, is not just a spillover on account of pent-up demand. In other words, it is a recovery which is there to stay in the analysis of the government of India. It is certainly very politically convenient in these days to underplay the kind of crisis we are facing and to overplay the improvement that we have seen in just the past couple of months. But then, let's not forget, a large swath of the economy, many sectors of the economy continue to be in stress. As per the KV Kamath committee itself, it has identified 26 sectors of the economy which are in stress and are in urgent need of restructuring and other financial help. And which are these sectors? The sectors include power, construction, roads, real estate, iron and steel, textiles, aviation, logistics, hotels, restaurants, wholesale trading, consumer durables, etc. That's a large section of the Indian economy which continues to be in stress, and that makes it very clear it's too early to conclude anything. In addition to sectors of the economy being in stress, 12 states of India, which account for 3/4 of India's GDP, they have together cut down capital expenditure in this year to the tune of $36 billion. That's the kind of pruning of expenditure that they are doing, showing stress in the government sector in a big way. We thus say that it is too early to conclude with surety or with certainty. It's a time to wait and watch. It's a time to wait and watch, even as per the Reserve Bank of India, for the simple reason that the RBI has said that it's going to take many years for the growth to come back the way it was, and that it will also take a long time for India to recover the output that has been lost during this lockdown. According to us, we are in an extremely fluid situation. We are facing a lot of uncertainty, not just because of the present times, but also because of perhaps a COVID resurge coming back to India It has already come back to Europe in a big way. We are facing an uncertainty when times keep changing, when things are so fluid, and because of that, trying to say with any kind of a conclusive attitude that this is the kind of prevailing trend that is now going to take place for sure, that is, it is now there to stay, would not be correct to do. In our opinion, there are trends. We can see some trends emerging, but as we said, it's a fluid time. Even the trends that we are now discussing could be subject to change. But then let's discuss what we think are emerging indicators coming in the Indian economy at the moment. The first thing that we see is that yes, demand did come back and peak on account of the festival demand, on account of replenishment of inventories. But then the festival is over, the inventory replenishment is over, and according to us, the demand will slide down again. There are no durable indicators to say that consumer spending will maintain its growth momentum such that demand keeps rising. According to us, keep watching out. Demand will slide down once the festival upsurge is over. The second one is the state of the MSME sector, the state of the informal sector. They are in a deep distress, and unless their revenues do not significantly improve from what they are at the moment, this sector will witness a lot of decimation, a lot of demises, and that needs to be stopped. And the real way to stop it is to improve the demand, improve the revenues of this sector. By merely restructuring their bank loans, we are only delaying the inevitable, which is the collapse of the sector, and that is something that needs to be done. The next is the December quarter. A lot of agencies think that in this quarter we will witness a return to positive growth. We think otherwise. We think that if you factor in the actual condition of the informal sector, which is very often not factored into government statistics, and if you compare the growth in this quarter with last year's growth on a year-to-year basis, then the growth is not going to be positive. We are going to see some contraction of sorts. And perhaps the Reserve Bank's earlier estimate that India will come back to a positive growth territory from the first quarter of the next calendar year is what it will turn out to be. The next thing that we see is fresh investments are not taking place. And unless fresh investment takes place, jobs are not going to come. And unless jobs don't come, consumer demand will not shoot up. And that is the real challenge of the economy according to us. In our opinion, the most important thing is to research, give a boost to fresh investments in the economy. Until that doesn't happen, there's going to be no durable growth in the economy taking place. That's something that we need to be really bothered about. Further, in our opinion, exports will remain at a standstill. Some of the major importing nations of India, which are in the EU, and the global economy in general, continues to contract. In the EU, there has been a resurge of COVID, and due to that, we think exports are not going to show any kind of a major uptick. They will continue to languish. The next thing that we would say is that if you really want to judge the state of the economy, go by the income tax collection of the government and not really by the GST collections. The income tax collections, the income tax paid actually shows the real state of the taxpayer. If he has taxable income, he pays it. Otherwise, he does not. On the other hand, GST is based on mere spending, and just GST as an indicator is not going to be reliable enough to decide the real state of the economy, the real state of the taxpayers and the corporate sector. Further, we think now that the FM has announced the stimulus package last week, there is going to be no material or major stimulus package announcement by the government now until the budget. The budget is going to be announced at the end of January, and we think that now there is going to be a pause. The government is not going to come up with any further stimulus announcements in a material way. And that's also because it's very clear the government is in no mood to borrow and spend. The government is keen to bottle down the fiscal deficit as much as it can, and that means no fresh stimulus package coming at the moment. The next that we see is the most obvious. Reforms will continue. That's good. But then we need to bear in mind, reforms don't give an immediate solution to the ongoing crisis that we face. Reforms will give us solutions. They will give us benefits in the medium term, in the long term. But then reforms will continue, and they should continue. Yet another issue that we note is the rising inequality between the big sector and the small sector. The FDI, the PLI scheme, which has become India's flagship scheme for Atmanirbhar Bharat and also for revival of the economy, is primarily going to benefit directly the large sector. It is a trickle-down effect that might come to the small sector, and that means inequality between the small and big is certainly going up. And finally, if the Reserve Bank thinks that inflation will start coming down or subsiding in this quarter, then it is mistaken. Inflation at 7.7% is at a 6.5-year high, and at the moment there are no signs of its subsiding. Do not expect interest rate cuts. In the government's opinion, the growth has come back, and moreover, inflation is high, and therefore the Monetary Policy Committee of the RBI in the coming meeting may not prune interest rates again. Liquidity will remain in the system extremely high because there are not enough takers for it, and the household sector will continue to park its savings in banks in order to ensure safety of its precious savings. And finally, confidence in the consumer, confidence in the businessman is not coming back so soon. We think these are the emanating indicators which are there from the present state of the economy. And as we said, these are all short-term reading of the economy as we see it. The situation is so fluid, the situation is so uncertain that a lot of them can change. But if at all it changes, it will be after a few months, at least till the COVID is not over. This is Akhilesh Bhargav signing off till we meet again. Namaskar.
Now be the first to know about the latest updates on our new news app. Go on your Android or iOS, search for HW News Network. Download our app, choose the language you prefer to get updates in, and be up to date with the latest news.
If you like this video, please share it, and we would love to hear your comments in the comments section down here. Also, please do like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter to get minute-to-minute news updates. For more such shows and videos, well, subscribe to our YouTube channel.